And it's another episode of Father Mahoney's House of Horrors. Yes, you see a blanket here. It's the heat is not working right now, and it's cold in my room. But we're not going to be talking about horror today. As you see by the title, this is my little tribute to Ace Frehley. And now, growing up as a kid, I was kind of a sheltered kid by my parents, especially by my mom. She didn't let me listen to like modern music. It had to be her music, like 50s, and if it was modern music, it was more country, like classic country, like Kenny Rogers and Engelbert Humperdinck and um, Willie Nelson, all that. And no disrespect, obviously, but as a kid, I wanted to listen to what the other kids were listening to. Now, my sister Carol, who was a few years older than me, used to listen to all the hard rock stuff. Sneak in her room and I see Pink Floyd, The Wall, um, ACDC. It was Highway to Hell, and I saw an album in the corner, and it caught my eye just because of the glitz, the glamour, the stage presence, and it was Kiss Alive. And so Kiss Alive was the first album I listened to as a kid. It was like 1980, so this was almost towards the end of the original Kiss's run because Peter Chris had left in '79, and Ace left in '82. So like I didn't get to really see or hear about them until like early '80. But after listening to Kiss Alive, I was blown away. So my sister had the original three albums, the debut album, Dressed to Kill, and Hotter Than Hell, and I was just like every song I was blown away. But one particular thing stood out among the rest. It wasn't the face painting. It wasn't the glam and the glitz. It was the guitar. And I kept asking my sister, "Who's the guy on guitar?" Uh, and she's like, "It's Ace Frehley." So I became like, in the early '80s, you know, uh, Ace went out and got his own band. I think it was around '86 called Frehley's Comet. And of course, I was right there on board. I joined the fan club. Like I was an Ace fanatic. And I never got to play. I owned a guitar. I just never really got to play it very good. But the only reason I ever wanted a guitar was because of Ace Frehley. So, you know, it was amazing. I got to 1987. I got to see Frehley's Comet open up for Iron Maiden, and a lot of people were there to see Iron Maiden. And I love Iron Maiden. Don't get me wrong, but I was there to see my hero, Ace Frehley, and yeah, something about Ace just always drew me to him. Like I don't know if it was it to me, he was like a rock god, and I know people always put that title on people, rock god, or uh, to me, Ace Frehley was everything. And finally, in 1995, it was the last year he was solo, and before he went the reunion tour with Kiss again, 1996. And I saw him at this club up in New Hampshire, and like wow, I ended up getting backstage passes, and like this is the culmination. 1995 was 15 years of you know following Ace, and got to meet him, and I was completely starstruck. I was like bubbling about words and doing everything like a fan would do. But I got to shake his hand, and I told him like I said, I know you probably hear this all the time, but you're like my god, my rock god. And he goes, as much as I ever hear it, it's always good to hear from someone else. So he was very modest, uh, very drunk too. So that's probably a contributor to his modesty, but he put on a fantastic show. and it was great to meet him. And I wish I had it on me right now. Actually, I probably do have it on me right now. Take the covers off me. Just don't mind the room. Alright, so making my way. Okay, so I do have it. So here I come again. Hopefully it shows up pretty good. My Ace Frehley autograph picture. And it's kind of a cool story how I got this picture. You know, I went up to see Ace at this club. It's probably not there anymore. Up in Nashua, New Hampshire. And I didn't really have a lot of money. I had like a couple bucks to get like a couple drinks, and but they were selling all kinds of t-shirt and merchandise and everything. And I didn't have any money. And some guy, he was all pissed off about something, and like him and his buddy got into a fight and an argument, and he threw down that picture that I just showed you. So I knew I was going to be meeting Ace later, and I was like, I grabbed it. Like I didn't even say, "Hey, you want this back right now?" I just grabbed it, and they got escorted out, luckily. And so, like, now I have something for Ace to sign, and that was 1995, 30 years ago. Yeah, God, jeez, my math is off. 30 years ago, I still have that picture. That tells you how much of an Ace fanatic I am. And when I heard about, having the fall and everything and then canceling his tours, like everyone else, I was worried. And at work, the day that he passed, I was about to go on break, and my buddy at work, he's like, he knew I was a big Ace fan, and he's like, "Rob, did you hear what happened to Ace?" And I thought he was just talking about, the fall and everything and how he had to cancel the tour. He goes, "Rob, he just passed away." Now, mind you, I still have 3+ hours at work. The rest of that day at work, I was numb. I kept saying to myself, this has to be, a prank. This has to be a joke. This isn't real. And that's why it took me so long to do this video. It's been about a week now, and I'm still fighting it. I know he had a great life, 74 years. And then this past week, it's been amazing. Of all the tributes, there's been obviously the regular people that you would think, Sebastian Bach, and I just saw a tribute from Blackie Lawless from Wasp. But I've been seeing some tributes from people I didn't think I'd ever see. George Strait did a tribute. I think there was one from Garth Brooks. Yeah, because if anybody knows the history of Garth Brooks, he did that song Hard Luck Woman on the Kiss tributes. And he told the story of how for Halloween when he was a kid, he dressed up as Ace Frehley. So I'm trying hard to keep it together, guys. It's the amazing things of the tributes that you miss. Like even more modern bands have been paying tribute, and it's amazing. I never thought that something would hit me harder than when Ozzy passed. Ozzy is the Prince of Darkness, and pretty much the reason we have heavy metal. Like Black Sabbath's the reason that there's metal. They were heavy metal before heavy metal was cool. But when Ace, the news of Ace breaking and passing away, it hit me harder than I ever thought anything could ever hit me. And people, there's some people that they, well, how can you, blah blah, how do you mourn someone that you didn't know, and they had everything and blah blah blah. It's like, because they become a part of you as you're growing up. One of the things that I love was music. I love music. I love wrestling. I love horror movies. So when someone that I grew up passes away, it takes a part of me with them. And Ace may never, ever, ever, ever remembered me at all. But you know what? I remember meeting him, and I remember it was one of the best times of my life meeting Ace Frehley. So, you know, to the people that don't understand, you know, uh, I'm sorry that you can't understand what I'm feeling. But those who adored Ace, and those who were influenced by Ace, and the fans and family and everything, you know, I've been doing some lip sync videos, tributes to him, and I'm seeing all the people who are appreciating that I'm celebrating Ace instead of. Uh, this is my way of mourning. I mourn by doing the things I love to do, and so far I've done New York Groove, and I did Shock Me. There's more to come. I'm probably gonna do Talk to Me. Probably gonna do Dark Light. Oh, I did Rock Soldiers. Uh, I'll probably do Trouble Walking. Like, I want to kind of span his career. Um, because if there's one thing I know, I'll never forget him. I'll never forget Ace Frehley. And that picture, the frame's been beat up, so first thing I'm gonna do when I get some money, I'm gonna buy a nice frame for it, nice picture frame, and put it where it could shine, and you know, long live Ace Frehley. Never forget you, man. You guys have any tributes you want to comment? Just post them down below. If you guys have a particular song, um, my lip sync page is called Lip Sync Lounge. So just search in the YouTube bar for Lip Sync Lounge, and I do all kinds of lip sync videos, not just to Ace Frehley. I did my tributes to Ozzy too, like when Ozzy passed. So you can find those there, and become a lip sync lounge member. And I know you're watching, my friend. So keep rocking the heavens, and say hi to Eric Carr for us. Um, Man, this is hard. Much love, Ace. R.I.P.